Hi, folks. This is Red Wemette, and I'm trying to get this out there on Monday. Thank you, folks, that ordered my book, the autograph book. I just got back from shipping it some, but it's raining outside here. But I wanted to thank you, and I scheduled this thing for 4:15, and it did go off. But sometimes I don't have things go the way I want them to go. At any rate, I'm here. It is a live chat. And if anybody wants to chime in, they can join me. Otherwise, it's going to be the loneliest live chat I ever had. And I'll probably delete it. I want to thank Anthony Martini and for his help in showing me the spot. I want to thank Adam Flowers for Redness Day, as he calls it. Actually like to, hey Lisa, how you doing? I see we got a few people coming into the room here. Hey Sean, how you doing, buddy? Nice shirt, thank you. I like it. It's tropical. Ricky, I like it. Thank you. Mendez, I really, you got an L there, so I don't know if it's Lisa or if it's, what your first name is. Big Tuna. Hi, Red. How's it going today? It's going like a Monday should. It was raining outside. It got a little bit wet. But I was just talking before anybody got here and saying people that ordered autograph videos have been shipped. They've already been shipped. And most of you guys probably, I don't know if you do, most of you probably know, autographed is at redwemette.com, redwemette.com. And it's the same price as you order from Amazon or if you order from a bookstore, except I autograph it and send it out to you. Anyway, do we have any questions today? I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the room. 4 right now, Karen or Quinn. Lisa, hi, Red. I think you said I went to UTHS. Yes, I did. I went to UTHS. Do I remember what year? Wifty size. I don't know. At least I'm trying to remember. I don't know exactly what you're asking. I know when I was there, we had the Mississippi River overflowing. All those kids were down with sandbags loading up along the river and trying to save the city. Moline was really in bad shape. How you doing, Jeff? There's 12 in here now. Thank you, Jeff. 11. Guys, give me a good count. That's great because I'm blind. I can't see it. It doesn't show me at all on the screen. Any mob influence on Jewelers? Now Wabash and Madison? I don't know about Wabash and Madison. I really don't know what's going on in the city of Chicago right now. I mean, it's kind of different. It's not like it used to be. Put my glasses on. That's not going to help me read, JW. It might, but I doubt it. American Gangster. Do I believe James Files' story? Yes, I do. I certainly do. He was a young 21-year-old punk that was expendable, and I really believe his story. Why he's alive today? I don't know. Maybe because he shot at a couple of cops. I don't know why he ever got out of prison. I thought they would have killed him in prison. Zach Shelton called me up about him a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago or better than 15 years ago. Zach was working on his case. Zach was retired FBI. He was on the mob squad in Chicago, and then he went down to Houston, Texas. And that's about the story of it. When he first said it, Jimmy Files first said his story, I really was skeptical about it because I said, what idiot in prison is going to admit to probably the worst assassination that we've had in our country? Do I think the Imam, Big Tuna 815, do I think the outfit was involved in the riverboat casinos? And yeah, I know they were. There's no doubt in my mind. I talked to several people about it. Lisa, I live about 15 to 20 minutes from the bridge over the Mississippi that's being replaced. We call it the Quad Cities. Well, it was the Quint Cities at one time, and I called it Quad Cities, but I knew people way back when they called it the Tri-Cities. But the Quad Cities was the Quad Cities. It was Bettendorf, Davenport, Moline, and Rock Island. But if you added East Moline onto it, it was called the Quint Cities. I was written up and I was considered an associate, Ricky. As a matter of fact, there's many different pictures of me in silhouette where it says Mob Associate Red Wemette. Did the guys think of me that way? I don't know. Joey never told me what he thought of me as an associate, Joey Lombardo. And Marshall Capano never told me either. And some of the other guys never told me either. I was around a lot of MAID guys. Was the only mob tax that, Jeff, I'm trying to get to you, was Jeff Mella? Was it only mob tax that made you become an informant? No, not at all. Obviously, Jeff, you haven't read my book. It had nothing to do with that at all. Nothing. I don't know, Menendez. I keep calling you by your last name because I don't know what the L is. El Menendez. I don't know if Wayne is still alive. He's a pretty big man. He had some problems with his diabetes and some other things. He may be alive. I doubt it. Kent, how you doing, Kent? Good to hear from you. When African guys would go to Vegas, did they drive or fly? That depended on who they were. Some guys drove out because they didn't want any records. Some guys flew because it was easier. Leo. Okay, Leo. So now I know you're Leo. We got the right gender, Leo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. Lisa, you want to purchase my book? Well, you can get it at www.redwemette.com. And it'll be autographed to you. I'll send it out to you autographed. Dang. I guess I guess you should, Jeff, if you really want it. I mean, you'll probably get more knowledge and background of what I really did. I mean, nobody cared, and what I did, that's the name of the book. Nobody cares, and what I did about it. And nobody did care. Ricky Grand, how many associates were working for the mob? Hundreds, thousands? I don't know. I didn't have a tally chart, Ricky. I'm sorry. I was really kind of interested in what I was doing. I really didn't keep a tally chart on how many people did what. Just the way it was. Guesses? You want me to take a guess? Ricky, do you want me to take a guess? I'm going to guess maybe 2000 during my era. Chano, hey, Red, what would you rather spend a week locked up with Frank Schweiss or Marshall Cafano? Marshall Cafano, no doubt about it. Easygoing guy. Frank, bad temper. Leo, Red is in charge of the outfit. Who's in charge? There is no outfit today, Leo. Anybody who walks the streets is their own boss. There's nobody to kick up to. There just isn't. There's nobody to kick up to. So that's what the organized crime is about. Kicking money up to the next guy on the top. The boss gets the money. It's like a pyramid scheme. But right now, I could come back into Chicago and tell you what, nobody's going to come over and break my legs, shoot me or something, because I'm going into some kind of business that they're in and they don't like it. It's not organized. They're more worried about the Russians and the street gangs and things like that. The FBI is, the local police, and other people. Brian, did I know Tony Spelatro? Personally, yes, I did, Brian. I knew him quite well. I think it's public knowledge by now. Tony was a very close friend of mine. In 1975, he was at my home. Whenever he came into Chicago, he used to stop by my home. He was the only guy that used to stop by my home that would park his car down the street and just ring the bell, usually at night when it was dark out. And all the other guys would call ahead of time just to see if there were police there or somebody there that I knew and they didn't want to butt heads with. Tony didn't care. He came in. And over a scotch, we were having a few drinks one night. And I told him, I wasn't inebriated. I knew what I was doing, although I'd had a couple drinks. I told him that I was an FBI mole. And that's kind of common knowledge by now, guy. But a lot of people asked me, what did he say? What was his reaction? And he just looked at me casually. He was drinking a glass of scotch and he looked at me casually. He says, no shit. Ricky, you're asking that's a lot of associate money with 2,000? Yeah, it sure is. They're earners. They go out there. Or they did. Well, I definitely think the outfit was bigger than the Gambino crime family only because it covered more territory. Everything west of the Mississippi. The Gambino crime family was fighting in New York. I write it in my book. New York fought with the five families. They all fought amongst each other for turf. Chicago went west. They went to California. They went to Las Vegas. They went to Kansas City. They went down to New Orleans. They went to Iowa. Every state, every jukebox. New York didn't do that. New York didn't even have control of Philadelphia. They're lucky they had some control over New Jersey. Big Tuna. Red, you and Adam were talking about Tony being a ladies' man. Yes, he was. Can you tell us about Tony was involved with any celebrities? Only one that's common knowledge. I wouldn't tell you anyway. But one of his celebrities that he was involved in was Jerry, Lefty's wife. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy? Dave Larson. How about Frank Collada? Brian, you're asking me, how about Frank Collada? Were you guys close? I never met Frank Collada. Every time I met at the spot, which was over by Grand and Rice now, I called it Grand and Ogden because it was in the neighborhood there. But Jimmy Kozo's compound. Every time I went to a meeting or, somebody asked me to be there. I never saw Frank Colada. We talked about him. I knew who he was. I knew a lot of people that he stole with. Frank wasn't really, when you got to Joey Lombardo and the bosses, Marshall Cofano, Jackie Cerrone, people like that, Frank wasn't really invited to personal events and stuff like that. I was, for a different reason. I was a different animal completely. It wasn't like Frank. Wasn't a thief. I mentioned I had Rick, you want to know about my agoraphobia? How did it come about and how did I conquer it? Well, it came about just all of a sudden. When I was 24 years old, all of a sudden, bang, it hit me. And I didn't know what it was. It was panic attacks. I was having them every 2-3 seconds. Well, actually, in the beginning, it was like every 2 hours, 3 hours. And that lasted for a long time until I got to the right doctor. And we ran me through a PET scan and found out that on base of my brain, there was a hot spot. And then the doctor asked me, neurologist, he asked me, he said, is there any history of epilepsy in your family? And I said, yeah, my mother. And he said, well, that's what it is. He said, it's genetic. And so we tried several different meds. We got me on the right med, got a blocking dosage, and that's what made me the way I am today. Yes, it's conquered completely. Good to see me as usual. Okay, TJ. Frank told me he was involved with the death of Marilyn Monroe. He told me exactly how it was done. And I had reports on that way before they did the autopsy files on TV and actually decided that she was, it was chloral hydrate in her system, because the original cause of death was called barbiturates because they pumped them out of her stomach. But that's it. They pumped them out of her stomach. It wasn't in her blood system. There were a lot of stuff in her stomach. So she died with all those in there. Thank you, Dave. Please like the show. If you like the show, hit the like button and subscribe, please. RV Doc, how you doing, buddy? I'm not going to believe this. Don't want to say a name. Very active, not retired. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's talking to his outfit. He's not outfit. If he wants to call himself the outfit, he can call himself the outfit. If he wants to call himself God's children, he can call himself God's children. I don't care what he says. Has he got a crew? Does he kick up to somebody else? That's all I'm saying, Doc. I'm not going to say his name out of respect for his father. John, hey, Red, when did you last have a pint at the Montrose Saloon? Well, never. Sorry. I didn't hang out in there. RV Doc, does he have lots of people around him? I don't know. He's got a construction crew. I mean, you can hire people all day long. You know that. You're asking me loaded questions there, buddy. Sorry. You won't know more about him than I do, probably. So anyway, hit that like and subscribe if you like talking to me live, and if you want me to continue the Monday live broadcasts or podcasts, whatever you want to call them. I leave them for open chats on Mondays. I will be here every Monday. I may be 5 minutes late. I may be 20 minutes early. I don't know. That depends on YouTube and their mood. Hey, new. I was just talking that. I just did a video with Wade, Hollywood Wade. He's just starting out. He's a new YouTuber, and he's putting a can. And we were talking about it over the weekend. And I told him, he's talking about COVID killing everything. It's really killing everything. I mean, it's bad. But one of the things that I got a kick out of more than anything was that I still have not got the color approved. And I can't go to press without it. Did I make it down 25th? No, I did not. I'm sorry, TJ. Did not. You like Sean? You like my lives, huh? Well, hit the like, and I'll keep doing them. If they don't go over so well, I won't do them. And my channel, I was looking at my channel. A lot of people like that Rush thing I did. I put it up yesterday. Deadbug Dog. Hey, Red Baby. Why do you call me Hey, Red Baby? You were in my joint on Wells in the late 70s. I would come up to Uno's Bazaar in later years. I helped Sammy O with the Go-Go joint in Gary. Okay. Thank you, Doug. I don't remember you, but thank you. Ellicott's last man standing in Gary, huh? How long did you have a store in Chicago? About 18, 19 years. Why were the gay people your biggest Rush customers? Yeah, I don't have the answer for that because I sold a lot of it. So I really don't know. But actual that would come up, pick a case of it up, or they would come in the store and buy it. They were really big. I wouldn't say they were 100%. I wouldn't say they were 40%, 50%, because I really didn't keep track of all the sales. Some were mail order, so you don't know if they're gay or not. John K. Any outfit you know of part? No, I don't. Did I ever meet Billy Dauber? No. Jimmy Couture told me to stay away from him. Jimmy and I were good friends. Matter of fact, the whole Couture family was friends with me. RV Doc. At that Rush on the top of the hill, the world would roll over. Yeah, roller coaster company. I never used that stuff, but I went into the factory one day when a pipe had broke, and it gave me, boy, I was totally disorientated. And when I got out in the fresh air, my head was pounding, man. It was bad. Now, the reason I stopped making it was because the FDA came around and they asked me if it was how much I was making. They asked all kinds of questions, and I was worried about it. And I asked the guy, why he was an Oriental man. And I asked him, I said, why? And he said, well, we think it may have something to do with acquired immune AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. And so I said, that's it. I sold it right away and got a big money. Some people don't care. They took it. Dave Larson. These shows are one of a kind. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Big Tuna. You're laughing at Doc, huh? Bad apple. Any old mobsters from Chicago living in Miami today? I don't know. I'm not in Miami. I'm up in the Panhandle. I'm in Panama City Beach, which is, I'm about maybe just a few miles from Alabama. I'm way over. I'm on Chicago time zone. As a matter of fact, it is about 4:46, 4:47 here right now. Jono, when I was in college, I know some gay guys who used poppers and they were thinking it was linked to AIDS. I don't doubt it. I mean, they didn't know what AIDS was then. They really didn't. They didn't know what caused it, and it was a virus. And a lot of people don't even know now. They don't know the origin of AIDS. It was actually biological warfare that was tested in 1952 in the Congo, in Africa. Then the green monkey ate it, and the virus migrated into something else and something else and something else. I don't even think it hit the United States until like 1979, 1980, somewhere around there. So much for the guys you knew, the gay guys you knew in college, Jono. Lisa, you want to know what my father's cancer was? My father was very foolish. He was having night sweats. And I told him to go to the doctor, and he didn't listen to me. And he had a tumor on the wall of his lung, and it grew into his heart. And so that's what it was. If you're asking about the cancer, his career was living off me. When I was a kid, he was a cop. He was all different kinds of things. Kent? Yeah, a lot of times. There are a lot of people that I just picked by the back of the neck and threw them out the front door. Some went out the back door into the alley. Yes, it was. You're right, RV Doc. It was at the University of Chicago. That's a fact. The Pasteur Institute tried to cure it because they were over in Africa. Big Tuna. What we live and what people seem more scared of COVID than HIV. Yeah, the way we live now, they seem to be. But HIV really doesn't seem to be a rising thing. COVID seems to be a rising thing. I don't know whether it is or not. I tested positive for it in, I think it was February 2019, and I was sick with a flu. And later on, recently, like with the last 4 months, I tested again, and because I'm not taking the shots, period. My doctor told me not to. I'm allergic to penicillin. I'm allergic to some other drugs that might have an adverse reaction with this, so I'm not taking the chance. I don't know. I really don't. John K. When did American Bonding close its doors? I've been asking that question because I really didn't pay any attention to it. We stopped meeting in American Bonding and started meeting over at the Spot by Jimmy Kozo and at Racine and Rice. I don't know what year, John. I don't know when. I just don't know. Kevin, silly age theories in Chinatown today. Where do people come up with some of these? I don't know. I have no idea where they come up with them. You got a better chance than I got of guessing. I really don't know. Michael, if the outfit knew how much property would cost in Old Town nowadays, they would have, they would have. And actually, I made out on that too, guy. I mean, I bought one building for $75,000, and when I sold it for $500,000. Paid $130,000 for the one building, and sold that for $500,000 to the same man, John Henderson. Paul Brown, hi. Yes, I did. I did shoot somebody in Chicago. It was a sad day, very sad day. TJ, I'd assume they closed around when they moved CPD. I think it closed before that, because when I was there, the same people that would meet at the office, Tony was over there, Milwaukee Phil was there, all the guys were there. But it's like we started meeting someplace else. So it's very difficult to say exactly when, because I didn't go back there anymore. I had no reason to. Lisa, was I an imposing figure back in the day? I don't know what you mean by imposing. I really don't. Leo, what are you asking me, Leo? I'm trying to read. Leo, you're probably right. I don't know. You'd have to ask Russo. I really don't know. That's very funny. I like that when you wrote that. It's very funny. I went for a walk, John K. I went for a walk in Schiller Park Forest a few years back, and I got the feeling that the mob used to use it for a dumping ground. I don't think they did. There's an old saying, you don't, do anything in your backyard. So I don't think they did. But you may be right, John. I'm not guessing they did, because I don't know, they were kind of careful back in the old days. Things changed in Elmwood Park after Tony Accardo died. Lisa, were people afraid of me? A lot of people were. A lot of people were very afraid of me. I could be violent at times, and I did my own bit. I only protected my own. I never looked for trouble, but I never ran from it either. Yes, I was fearless. I mean, all those guys like me. They back me up. If I may, I'm going to tell you something, Kurt, or Kent, excuse me. I had a problem. And the problem was I was surrounded with people that if I said something out of anger, like that guy didn't show up and I could just kill him, the people around me wouldn't say anything to me, but they go grab him, beat him up, and bring him to me. So, I had to be real careful about that. RV Doc, read this guy in New York said he was in prison with Sally D. He might have been. They don't discriminate in prison where you come from. He said he pushed him around. Do you believe that? Yeah, anything happens in prison. I mean, there's scuffles in there and all kinds of things. I know when Sam DiStefano was in prison, and even when Sam Giancana was in prison, in jail, in the Cook County Jail, they kept him locked up separate from the other people because there were some bad people in there that really could probably hurt him. Carmelo, how you doing? Or is it Camilo? Camilo? Am I saying it right? Read any crazy stories about Milwaukee Phil that you haven't talked about yet? Excuse me a second. I don't know if I told you about Weenie World. Him and Irv Weiner got together, aside from Danny Seaford and putting together the plastic pail industry and everything else, where they skim the Las Vegas finder's fee. Phil had a company with Irv Weiner where they built these weenie wagons, hot dog wagons, and you could pull them on a trailer, on a car. They were a trailer, and they had wheels on them, and you could pull them with a car. You didn't need a pickup truck, and you could relocate them wherever you wanted to go. They were all NSF approved and everything else. They used to pay people outrageous amounts of money to build these things because that way they took it off their income tax, and they're trying to wash the skim money. Thank you, Big Tuna. God bless you too. Do I ever go American Gangster? Do I ever go to any boxers? Any boxing in my younger days? He was actually a good. They said he was going to be the next, the Great White Hope, and he could have been, except he took a dive. There was more money in that. He's around too. He lives in Elmwood Park. Really, Jono? That's impressive. Sally D must have had a problem on that. Give Red a thumbs up. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guy. Yeah, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you like it or not. And if you don't, I won't be here every Monday. If we don't get enough people to show up and chat, it's not worth it. We got 32 likes. Well, that's good. Not a bad start. And 45 people. That's less than our average, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. I actually like talking to you folks. I really do. It gives me a chance to really see you. Was George Ryan connected? I don't know if he was. I really don't. Kevin, when you told Tony that you were a FBI mole, did it affect my relationship with him? Not at all. It didn't change any attitude towards each other. I just talked about this a minute ago, Kevin. We were drinking scotch at my home, and I said, Tony, there's something I want to talk to you about. And I said, I'm an FBI mole. And he was drinking scotch at the time. He just finished the glass, or finished what he was drinking the glass. He said, really? I mean, that was his attitude. So we really didn't talk business or anything like that, but we never did. 45 people. Thank you. That's decent. You're right. James Roberts. Good man. Thank you, sir. Brad, love your history. Would never get the truth love your history. We would never get the truth without me. Probably not. I'm pretty down to earth. It's like, if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. If I know something about it, I'll tell you I know. Otherwise, I don't do it. Hit the like button. There you go, Dave. Dave's my promoter out here. You see 48 on your end. Thank you, Dave. You're welcome, Kevin. You're most welcome. What do I think Chicago of these days? Well, if you really want to know, you asked it. Chicago these days reminds me of Detroit in the 50s and early 60s. It's gone downhill. I mean, all the industries pulled out, all the big manufacturers, they're raising the taxes. The leadership is just outrageous. There is no leadership. There's leadership. Yeah, there's leadership. It's called bad leadership. Lori Lightfoot and her idiots, and now they're calling for government assistance there. They want the National Guard to come in and clean up their mess that they don't want the police to do. It's all goofed up. RV Doc, there's some people that's still alive that you won't talk about. There's quite a few that are alive that I won't. I'm not going to put anybody's business on the street, possibly get them arrested. Yeah. Well, were those 11 people minorities that were killed, John Kay? Or were they just regular home-abiding or law-abiding citizens that were just minding their own business? Were they carjacked, shot? John O, you're saying otherwise normalist. Did Tony have any pets? We never talked about if he did. I don't know about any animals that he killed. I really don't. I'm sorry, Jono. Yeah, it was. I figured it was on the south side. We don't have to go any further than that. Yeah, the Como Inn and the Italian Village, they were hot spots for the outfit guys. Bed bug or dead bug, excuse me, dead bug Doug. Kevin, like you're laughing at it. Doc, it's whatever you want to keep to yourself, keep it to yourself. RV Doc. Ricky Grand. No, Tony did not like a lot of recognition, public recognition. He really just wanted to go about his business and do his thing. So he would not have a YouTube channel today. Yeah, I know about Lakeshore Drive with the new name. And it'll always be LSD to me. Lakeshore Drive. Chicago's in a sad state. Yes, it is. I'm glad I left it when I did. I really am. It only went downhill. And I'm talking late 88, early 89. It was starting to fall apart. Hey, Red, did your family know you're in communications with the FBI? Yes, they did. They certainly did. Cheers. You must be from either England, DJ? Are you from England or Australia, or where are you from? Michael Graham. Red, back in the day when my bookstore was open, were Were you left alone by the city of Chicago authorities? Because no, the building department, all those people bother me constantly. The only people that took care of me were the Vice Division, VCD, Vice Control Division, over on Maxwell Street. Dave Larson, first bed bug I ever met in the gym. Dave, do you meet a lot of bed bugs? Some of you guys can be laughing here. It's funny. Kevin, Como Inn was the best. It was a nice place. I liked it. The Rose, best Italian food. And the click back in the day. Actually, my favorite place was Mio's, Norwood House, out west. Yeah, that was kind of my favorite to eat, to dine. Otherwise, I go to Sally's on Harlem Avenue. We used to meet there, too. A lot of guys used to meet there. That wasn't far from the Howard Johnsons where Tony's car was found, or Michael's car was found. Spelatro. Carmelo, Vince. Yeah, we all know that. We all know that. And I don't believe it was suicide. I really don't. You enjoyed the read. That's great, buddy. Thank you, John. Tony's wife is still alive. She's still alive. She's doing great, Ken. Well, I don't know about great. It isn't like when he was alive. I mean, she got beat up pretty bad by the IRS, and they lost their homes and everything else they lost. Sally's. You love Sally's, Kevin, huh? You used to eat there too? Probably saw me back in the day, because I used to go there in the early 80s and 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. We used to go out Sally's. Always grab a good sandwich out there. At least a good cup of coffee. Dave, did I ever have a beef at Rocky's on North Avenue? I might have. Because there were a couple of places on North Avenue I'd just stop and grab it. I really didn't care. You know, I was on the move a lot. When I had something, I just grabbed a bite to eat and gone. Bang. What about the Como in Melrose Park? You guys ever go there? Kevin says yes. Orso's. Yeah. Kevin, you met me at Orso's in the 80s? I used to go there quite a bit with Frank Schweiss. Frank Molino used to tell me all the time, if he didn't wait on me personally with his rebaked potatoes and whatever, he used to tell me, just take care of my waitress and forget about the bill. He never made me pay a bill. Rick, did I ever run afoul of any connected people and catch a beating? No, I never did, Rick. Never. I was a straight shooter. Nobody ever wanted to beat me. If they did, they were foolish, because there were too many other guys, made guys around me that would have probably clipped them. Hey, how you doing in Scotland? Boy, it must be late there by now. Good seeing you, GJ. Well, we were talking about one of your stores on Wells. No, I never took any beatings there, ever. I never took any beatings, period, there. The last beating I took was when I was in the Marine Corps. I wouldn't recognize Grant and Ogden today. You're right, because Anthony Martini, the Anthony Martini show, he did a whole walk around in Grand and Ogden, that whole neighborhood. And when I watched it, I loved it. I really did. I thanked him very, very much for it. And no, it's very, very different. It's not like it was that I remember it. It's there were hardly any people on the streets. It looked like it was more yuppies than anything else. Do I know of any hits RV Doc in the Channel Lakes area? No, I really don't. I think you asked me that once before. Well, how you doing, buddy? Gerald Fletcher, how you doing, guy? By the way, hit the like if you like this podcast every Monday, and I'll do another one next Monday. Frank took a beating out there by Frank Schweiss. Yeah, he took a beating on the street. And not worse than that, he got arrested because whoever was with him, they grabbed a baseball bat. And the police pulled up, and they had a baseball bat. They had a weapon, and the he was taking a beat. Man, them high heels were killing him. But he went to jail on top of it. Me, I had just shagged those same people down away from my place, and they went down by his. Thank you, Joe. I started watching Anthony's shows. They're great, Dave. They really are. I mean, he brings all the different people, you know, he goes all over the place. He just, I like the guy. I like Anthony. He's a hard worker. John, what are you saying? Monday in Scotland. Well, it's still Monday here. Ever hang out on the southwest side? No. I lived on the southwest side. I lived over in Clearing. I lived at 3840 West 63rd Place at one time, which is right behind Steinberg Baum. John, what are you trying to say? Who controlled Arizac? Who controlled Rosemont? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but somebody did. Probably DeFranzio. I'm guessing. Do I have the link for Anthony's YouTube channel? I didn't put it on this video, but if you want, I'll put it on when I'm through. I'll add the link to him for you. And this is going live, so maybe in an hour I'll have it on. It's a good show. Okay, we're going by a little bit faster, which is okay. Doesn't bother me. Good sandwich in Chicago. Yes, you're right, Charles. And a beer to go with it. Okay, gotcha, G. Dead bug dog. I would control the pool table and the Blues Brothers bar when it hit the street. Okay. I'm just a squirrel looking at it. Okay. Do you do math? debating club? Do I smoke weed? Can you get the spammer? I can't handle you. Okay, you guys. I can't tell whose questions for me and whose questions for somebody else. Did Sam Momo have a hotel in Rosemont? No, they did not. Neither one. A mass debating club? No, John. I'm sorry. I don't do that. I get all kinds of questions or invites to different things on Facebook, and I just don't do them. I got too many other things to do. Johnny's beef, yeah, Johnny's beef is good. I like Johnny's beef. You remember the Blues Brothers bar? Actually, they used to come. Jim Belushi and John didn't, but they used to come down the street. And they tried to rent my joint because they lost their liquor license because of drugs. Basically, cocaine. For all you folks that want to watch me again, subscribe. And also hit the notification and hit the like button. Okay, John, you're very funny. Did I know any rights? No, I didn't. I have no idea who he is. Why is he spamming? I don't know. Rocky Lombardo, a great guy. Rocky's Pizza. Yep. Come on, John Barnes. Leave it alone. It's all going to be deleted, John. I'm going to take it down. Watch your language in my room. Don's a troll. Okay. Well, maybe if we ignore him, he'll go away. If not, he won't be in live chat. When this replays, you won't see his name on it. Give him a slap. You know something? I probably would. If I was face to face with him right now, I probably would. I'd tell him to take a walk and get off the computer. But, you know, we have easy guys because we have keyboard warriors all the time. They do so much on the keyboard that they would never do to your face. Never. There's no way. If Tony wasn't killed, do you think he would have made a move to take over? Yes, I do. I really do, DJR. I really do. I believe there was a vacuum there, and the other guys didn't like it. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. You know, I saw a hammer on what you call it, Facebook, and it was a meme, and it was called, the name of the hammer was called Finger Finder, and I thought about that. How many people actually hit their fingers when they were pounding with a hammer, pounding a nail in or something like that, slid off the side? Hello from Sydney. Well, hello there, guy. Bubba. Down under. Regardless of regarding the Peter Schuler, have I ever been to John Hansen's horse stable? That's Kenneth Hansen. It's not John. On Higgins? No, that place was burned to the ground in 1956. I'm sorry, Michael. You're misinformed. Tony was in line, John K. Tony was in line to take over. And unless the others gathered together and gave him the beatdown that they did in the basement and killed him, he probably would have taken over. York Hunt is in New Zealand? Okay. John Barnes. Hi, John. Did Ricardo and Joey often answer to a Jew? No, never. They had Jews that were very clever that they kept they took care of them. There were some Jewish guys that were really sharp, good businessmen. They made them a lot of money. You're welcome, Michael. There were several books written about that, and somebody asked me recently. They said they wrote things about me that weren't true in the books, and somebody recently said, "Well, if they weren't true, how come you didn't sue them?" And at the time, it would have meant coming into Chicago, going up, news cameras around me, and everything else, and it really wasn't worth it. I didn't care. I didn't like it, but I didn't care. Just if somebody said something slanderous about you, like you were sleeping with your sister or anything sexual in any way, would it bother you? Yeah, I'm sure it would. Would you sue somebody? I don't know. It's a personal decision. RV Doc, you're going to order the book, huh? Okay. I'll look for it. Yes, I wrote a book. It's called Nobody Cares and What I Did About It. It's the Red Wemette story, and it's available at Red, RedWemette.com. My thoughts on what are happening in South Africa, it's sad. It's just as sad as what's happening in the United States or other parts in the country. I mean, the whole country's a mess. Oh, RV Doc says go buy Red's book. It's full of history. Yes, it is, and it's full of personal things about my life too, and the way I carried myself and what I did. Am I shipping it worldwide? No, I could, but sometimes it's more expensive. You can just go to Amazon and buy it, or you can buy it at a bookstore around you. They'll order it for you. But sometimes the shipping is more than the cost of the book, depending on where you're at. But if you send me an email, I can check on the rate and tell you what it's going to be. But I don't think you'd want to pay that just much for my signature on it saying, thank you for ordering, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. God bless. And my signature. I don't know much about it, so I really couldn't give you any thoughts on John, on anything in the UK. Best money ever spent, Dave. Thank you, Dave. How many people do we have in the room now? Looks like it's time to say goodbye to you folks for today. 37. Oh, you brought the promo books of the 80s? Yeah, okay. Those were remainders. That's what they called them, remainders. Okay, folks. Well, this is going to end up the show for tonight. Yeah, it's nighttime now. I have 5 o'clock. Excuse me. I have 4:25. Hey, Dan, how you doing? I'll tell you what's up, guy. I'm just getting ready to leave the live show and put it up. You're welcome, Lisa. So many wonderful people. I enjoy talking to you folks. Thank you, American Gangster. God bless you. Leo, now that I know it's Leo, I'll remember Leo Menendez. Take care of yourself. God bless you. And we will see you later. God bless, folks.